So as we do approach these next ones, the key thing about our system is there's no law about how the system will be given to you. It's just more than one equation. That's all system means. And since this is a linear system, we know that when we graph these lines, or if we graph them, they will all be, like I said, lines. They'll be straight. So the curves will be straight. All right, so the question is, can we go ahead and attack these? Well, step 0, before the mass check, the step 0 would be to put them in the same form.
Why is it 0 instead of?
Well, it was kind of like the pre-work before we started multiplying. So we need to have them in the same form. It never, ever, ever matters what form it is. The important part is that everything lines up. Okay, so notice that the top one is already in standard form. We see that we have an x, we have a y, and then the constant on the other side. Well, let's go ahead and make that one standard form. So how do I do that? I'm going to subtract the 3x from both sides, like so. And then I get this, negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 21. And then I'm going to bring down the other equation to have it ready to go. All right, so I rewrote the first, or excuse me, the second one.
Easy.
Now, how do I make these opposite coefficients? So remember, the first one requires me to, in this case, to get it into the same form. Well, we converted them to the same form, and notice over here it says standard form, and I'm going to give you flexibility, just say same form. Standard form is probably how most people would attack it, but the key is just same form. Okay, now in order to save on space, these are the steps, but I don't want to rewrite a whole bunch. So I'm just going to do the steps and make them, so here's step 1. Well, maybe it will be easiest for me to do that. Okay, now how do I get these to be the same or opposite coefficients? Opposite coefficients, yep.
You multiply by negative 1 on the top, because then it's also easier because it takes 2 of the negatives out.
Great, so if we multiply all of these by negative, I get a negative 5y right there. Now that's something that's very uncomplex. We could just do that from here, just change the sign of all those. So that's what I would do with just simply this. Boing, 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 like that. So that's actually my step 2 also. So there's my step 2. I multiplied here all across. Now, down here, it says my step 3 is I need to add the coefficients now, or add the equations. So I'm going to do that. Those drop out. I end up with 5x. Over on this side, I end up with a 10. So x is 2. So now I'm going to take that 2 and I'm going to substitute into my original problem as this one here says. We're going to substitute the equation into one equation and solve for the other variable. So there's my substitution and continue on. 4 plus 5y equals negative 11. 5y equals negative 15, and y equals negative 3. All right, so I'm now claiming that my answer is 2, negative 3. And we do a quick check. 2, negative 3